Cody, I am Starlight, and sorry for the delay with technical difficulties. What can I say? Google Plus can be a total angel sometimes.
Angel
Yeah.
Bunny.
I believe
Anyways.
that was the joke.
Anyways. So, yes. Welcome to another installment of fanchat, where today we'll be discussing the great and powerful Disney. Wahaha. So, all of us have probably had wonderful experiences and horrible experiences with Disney. So, we can all go around and say what our favorite Disney movie is if you want, or not. I really don't care. How about you, Postscript? Do you want to share or not?
みんなおはようございます。
I'll take that as a no. And, oh yeah, by the way, I'll use this time to introduce everybody. Next up is DM Pawn 3000. Welcome back, and do you have anything you want to say?
Konnichiwa minna desu.
Thanks.
Desu.
What about you, Rose?
Hi everyone. My favorite part about Disney is like bringing in like a really great show like Phineas and Ferb to get like a new Francis to the world of animation. Besides MOP.
Okay, what about you, Thunderflare?
Well, let's see. For counting Pixar movies, then it would have to be The Incredibles or Finding Nemo. But if you wanted to exclude those, I guess maybe Lion King, Aladdin, or even Frozen.
I was always kind of partial to the live version of The Lion, Witch, and a Wardrobe.
Oh yeah, that was pretty good.
I mean, it wasn't as good as the black and white versions, but that just might be because I've always been more partial towards black and white movies than ones in color. What can I say? I'm a weirdo. So, yes.
Oh,
Disney.
don't worry, Star. We already know all that.
Oh, don't even know the half of it. Poor innocent little Postscript. It's okay, little duckling.
Probably the less we know, the better.
Anyways. So, yes, Disney is a wonderful, controlling dictatorship of our childhood. So many fond memories of being forced to wait in ungodly long lines to see a movie that your parents thought you'd want to see, only to get in there and have it puke rainbows on you.
The puke rainbows.
Yeah. Does anybody else remember this delightful little movie that came out around the same time as, God, it was with the long necks, whatever, doesn't matter.
Land Before Time?
Yeah. No, Land Before Time is not a Disney movie, but it came out
Yeah, I was
at
about
the
to
same
say.
time of Land Before Time.
What,
And-
Oliver and Company?
Yes! God, why does everybody always have to spoil the surprise?
Well,
I liked Oliver and Company.
Me too.
It was cute.
It was cute. As I said, puking rainbows. Anyway.
There was nothing rainbows about Oliver and Company. Holy shit.
Like, but I remember the entire time, it leading up to it, all it was that one song. That's all you got to see, was that one song. It was in all the movies, and then you open up and you get that little cute song, Once Upon a Time in New York City, The Kitty Almost Drowned. Honestly, why would nobody take an orange cat home? I've always wanted a ginger cat. You know, never got a ginger cat.
Some people are just jerks. And it was set in New York City.
Yeah.
which is ideal.
You mean Manhattan?
Right.
Same thing. Anyway.
But I'm pretty sure Manhattan might be Jersey Shore.
What?
It's Journey. What?
Just look at the way these ponies dress. Tell me they don't make you think of people from like Jersey Shore.
I'm pretty sure that Manhattan wasn't supposed to be based off of New Jersey. I don't see anyone acting like sluts in that place.
I didn't say the way they were acting. I said the way they were dressed. I mean, clearly the button girl was supposed to be living in New Jersey. Just look at the way she was dressed. So,
The button girl?
you know, the girl that stole Rarity's outfits.
Yeah, the bitch.
Sherry
Oh yeah,
Pollard.
bitch, yeah.
Oh, yes.
She had, like,
Of
3
course
buttons on
she's
her
from
flank.
Jersey.
So I've named her the button girl, because she has 3 buttons on her flank.
I thought her name was Siri.
It is Siri, but she has been
No.
renamed the button girl.
No, Siri, as in the iPhone thing.
Oh, I get what your joke was.
Anyway. I'm kind of worried about Coco Camelda because have any of you guys actually ever worn a hairpin before? Those things are crazy sharp. And she has it like stuck straight into her head. Like, I'm just so worried that like it's like poking into her flesh or something. And like she's so cute and sweet. I wouldn't want anything to happen to Coco.
Well, it's just like with Silver Quill. He was able to continue doing a review even with a harpoon to his head.
Yeah, but that's because there's not much in there. I'm just joking.
Wow.
I'm just joking, Silverquill. You are awesome. But anyway.
She's not.
Because
She's
I'm-
an idiot, Thor.
I'm sorry,
I
but
do not.
I have to admit that I'd be extremely surprised if a big wigger like Silver Quill knew about these little fan chats of yours. I really hate to put it that way, but
Yeah, I
I
seriously
highly
doubt it.
doubt he even knows about these things.
I highly doubt he even knows who I am. I've been around for a full year and still nobody knows who the fuck I am.
I know who you are.
Well,
Yeah,
that's
we
because
know who you
come
are.
on my little podcast. And I talk to you guys. But like most people like who are like just fans don't know who I am. Except for that one psycho fan. God, she scared the crap out of me.
Which one?
The crazy lesbian psycho fan.
I have no
Oh,
idea.
yes.
Crazy lesbian. Okay.
Remember, I was
That's
talking about it the other day.
Anyway.
Like, she came on Skype, and like she seemed so normal till like she started acting really perverted. No? Nobody remembers what the fuck I'm talking about, do you?
No.
No,
I do.
not really, no.
You know, I think you guys
Sure.
stopped listening to me.
I did.
Oh, I
Nod
saw
your
something
head.
after crazy psycho lesbian.
Anyways.
That should tell you everything you need to know. So, can we
I
get back to Disney?
Context? What's that?
I thought you were talking about Rainbow X Dashy for a while there, and then you said lesbian. I'm like, oh, okay, well, Rainbow X Dashy is a guy, so that.
He's a guy and not a lesbian.
Yeah, I know.
So, yeah, kind of ruled out those possibilities.
She was creepy. Very perverted. Anyways, let's move
Disney.
on back to Disney. Yes, child-friendly Disney. You know, I don't think Disney is quite as child-friendly as everybody remembers. Have any of you actually gone back and watched any of the old Disney movies?
I
Like,
rewatched
Back
Hunchback.
of Notre Dame. That's not a kids movie. It is not a kids movie.
Fire, deep fire.
It starts off with a guy murdering a woman, taking the baby, almost drowning it, only for him to be told, you have to keep the child and raise it, because otherwise you'll be forever damned to hell. And then he raises the child in the church, away from everybody else, but yet everybody knows about him apparently. And
Well, they
Like-
don't technically know about it. They just, see shadows.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And, like, then, he falls in love with this gypsy girl who his sire or master lusts over. The guard also wants to get in her pants. Have anybody else noticed that most guys in Disney movies wants to get in the main character's panties?
Of
You
course.
say it like it's something new.
But, like, I swear, even, like, the Seven Dwarfs were, like, trying to seduce Snow White.
Oh god.
Okay, there
I
are
read it.
7 dwarves and living with one hot female. Of course we're gonna make those
She was
implications.
13.
Oh my
She was
goodness.
13.
Yeah.
We've ruined Snow White, everyone!
No, if you really want me to ruin Snow White, in the original, she actually wasn't dead. She just had the apple stuck in her throat. Until the prince came along, kissed her, and she still stayed dead. It wasn't until he started taking her back to his castle that the cart jarred the piece of apple out of her throat.
She would have choked to death then.
Well,
Yeah, I would have gone with Love's first kiss
she
too.
would have been like, yeah, because totally natural. Guy makes out with a corpse, still think it's dead, starts taking it home. What do you think was going on?
Na-na-na-na. Disney.
Yeah.
Apparently encouraging necrophilia.
Oh,
Wait,
you
you
know,
wouldn't
it's
jump
very
on a
deep.
Well, there
star.
was nothing necrophiliac about the movie.
Yeah,
Just the
good
original
thing.
story concept.
He still kissed a corpse. A
Right,
woman
yeah.
that
She was-
he thought
She
was
was
dead.
quote unquote sleeping. She wasn't technically dead.
Okay, then
Yeah,
what did
sure.
these two have for, what is it? Aren't they doing that weird, like, didn't they do that weird zombie movie? I can't remember. Whatever. It doesn't matter.
What?
Weird
What
zombie
is-
thing.
Where, like, the zombie starts to come alive and, like, he gets all horny for this girl or something that, like, he's protecting or something.
Warm bodies?
Warm bodies?
I think that's it, but
That's
I'm not.
not Disney.
Yeah.
It's still weird. Still encourages necrophilia. So does Twilight. Twilight also encouraged necrophilia. Which is why if I ever had to choose between a werewolf or a vampire, I would just choose the werewolf just for the fact that it's not dead. Like, if I really had no other choice. Because rather deal with someone that's furry than someone that's, dead.
Except
Bella
he's
X.
not furry
Jacob
in his human
OTP.
form, at least.
Yeah, but
Witness
that's only
all this
because they waxed the guy's
staring.
chest.
Yeah, they did kind of wax the hell out of him. So he's not furry at all in his human form. In his wolf form, yeah, he's really, really fucking.
So you either have hair or you don't.
Apparently.
My excuse for that is that for apparently in Twilight, all their body hair just goes inside except for the hair on their head. For when they turn into a wolf or something.
And I'm sorry, but even girls have body
My
hair.
explanation for everything that's wrong with Twilight, the writer is crazy.
Yeah,
Yep.
I agree with that.
She spent years being somehow being sexually repressed and just
Yeah, she's
expressing her
Michael
frustrations.
Bay. Yep, she's
Well,
female
hell.
Michael Bay.
Well, hell, 50 Shades of Grey was a fan fiction.
Oh,
They
God.
literally just changed the names, I
A
think.
fucking funny one.
I don't know. I've never actually read it.
Yeah, I've never read it either, but I've heard jokes and
I've
horror
seen it.
stories about it.
I've seen the trailer for it in the movie theater.
I haven't even seen the trailer, but it is up on YouTube.
Wait, there's a frickin' movie?
Yes, they're coming out with the 50 Shades of Grey.
What?
Trailers on
I
YouTube.
didn't think America allowed pornos in movie theaters anymore. I know they still allowed it in Britain, but I didn't think they allowed pornos in movie theaters anymore. The worst part is I know my sister is going to want me to go with her to see this movie.
Why?
Because you think it will be a bonding experience. And the worst part
Oh,
is
bonding! Yeah, with 50 Shades of Grey! The freaking book cover has handcuffs! Start your bonding experience.
My sister actually has all 3 books in audiobook form on her iPod, and she listens to them while she works out at the gym. Yeah, I find it cool.
Okay.
The fact that my sister's telling me this.
So, Disney.
Please, can we go back to Disney? At least that didn't involve bondage kinks.
Are you
Well,
sure about that one?
well, Disney did give us Ursula, who's apparently a drag queen.
What?
Yeah.
She's an awesome
No,
drag queen.
Ursula is not a drag queen. You can tell by.
She was based off a drag queen.
I have to disagree with that.
She actually was based off a drag queen.
I still
And
have to
she
disagree
is not a
with
drag
that.
queen herself, but she was based off of a design from a drag queen.
I still have to disagree with that.
Fine, whatever. I don't care. Whatever. Nobody fucking believes me when I say that Sleeping
I have
Beauty
to be
was
entirely
originally
honest.
raped,
Ursula,
and she woke up in the house. But nobody fucking believes me about anything.
I have to be entirely honest. She does not strike me as a type who seems to be fabulous.
That's because they took out the main part of her talking that was supposed to distill that. She was originally supposed to, like, you were originally supposed to get to hear her. You know how she made that comment about, is that how they're wearing their hair in the castle now? And she was supposed to go on and on about, like, this thing, but they took it out because they deemed it a waste of time. Yeah. By the way, has anybody else realized that Ariel was just a nerd? Like, a full-on, like, otaku for humans?
There's a thing called otaku for humans now. Lyra would have a field day with that.
Oh, yeah,
Hey,
Ariel's the
let's call it
president.
Little Mermaiding.
Lyra's the vice president.
We can start calling it Little Mermaiding.
Okay.
Ariel sounds better.
Wait, rewind. What the hell are you saying?
Ariel was an otaku for humans. And
Yeah.
so
She
the
was
name of
a
the science,
total geek.
let's face it, she had a fantastic collection. I mean, just look at how large her collection is. I mean, she is fantastic. She's on her way from just being a fangirl to being an expert on this topic. Unfortunately, the main guy for giving her information, or main legal for giving her information, is totally full of bullshit. He's like Wikipedia, but still.
May I just say you made The Little Mermaid 10 times better for me?
What always bothered me was Ariel said was the fact that Ariel sold her voice for her legs and a man she didn't know.
Well, if you think about it, more than that, she not only sold herself for legs, but also for a vagina.
Oh,
What?
Well, technically, fish have that too. So
you went there. They call it
Anyway.
fish. They don't call it fish lips for nothing.
Anyways, yeah, but in the original, her legs were actually supposed to be extremely painful for her, and like they seem to cut that out, but whatever. Honestly, I actually like the parts where Ariel doesn't talk. I've always been a huge fan of, show don't tell. Like, one of my favorite things that I love the first part of Wall-E, and like I love Up, like for that first part where they tell the love story with like little to no dialogue, and it's just great. It's just, I love watching a movie where it's silent except for slight musical accompaniment and images,
Mm-hmm.
I love silent films. So,
Yeah, I agree with you
I
there.
always wanted to review The Little Mermaid so I could tell the joke. This is the best part of the movie because Ariel keeps her mouth shut. Am I right, fellas? Am I right? I know it's
You
terrible.
are an ass.
Ouch.
Holy shit.
By the way, in the original, The Little Mermaid actually not only gave up her voice, but she also brought a dead corpse to the Sea Witch.
Yeah, I have no idea why Disney would have cut that out.
Aww, but just imagine a sweet little Ariel dragging a inflated dead body behind her to the Sea Witch. You know, no, not amusing for children. We can put a clown face on him.
Oh.
Let's replace a dead body with a singing Jamaican crowd.
Yeah.
That did work out better for them.
You know, actually, the sequels for The Little Mermaid aren't so bad. I especially love, I think it's like this third sequel, where we get to see Ariel grow up. Like, she starts off as a little kid. There are sequels to The Little Mermaid.
Oh, yeah.
I know about the Little
Yeah,
Mermaid
the
2.
sequels.
Yeah, Little Mermaid 2
there was
sucks.
just a Little Mermaid 2.
No, there was
Little
another
Mermaid
one.
3 is actually really, really good. No? No one here has seen the third and
Oh, no, I've never seen that. I didn't even hear it.
I've seen bits of the third one, but not all of it.
Well, you should go watch
I've
it.
seen-
It's actually really, really good.
I've seen like the opening to the second one, and of course I've seen the first one who knows how many times, but still.
Yeah.
The second one sucks. But the third one is actually pretty decent.
I knew there were.
It's pretty cool. And it kind of explains her obsession with humans. Kind of. Just a little.
Kind of.
Kind of, sort of, maybe.
Like, it gives you
That's
that
kinda,
little gap
sorta.
of why she might have started to get obsessed with them. But it's mainly focused on, it's actually more of her dad's story, although it's told through Ariel. We actually find out what happened to her mom.
You mean they actually tell the story as to why the hell she doesn't have a mother there?
Yeah, she full on gets,
Right.
like, I'm not going to tell you.
Yeah, because spoiler warning for a Disney sequel.
Well,
Which is
prequel,
really a
nonetheless.
prequel. That's not like you're spoiling much. Anyway, yeah, I didn't know about the Little Mermaid 3. I mean, I did know about the sequels to Cinderella, which just screamed pointless. Yes, there were sequels to Cinderella. And I was like, really, what?
Why?
How did...
You could say that a
I
lot
guess
for a
it
lot of
did
the
really-
sequels.
Oh, wait, wasn't the sequel to Cinderella like one of her stepsisters, the nice one, actually gets hooked up? Like
Yeah.
a baker
Yeah.
or
Yeah,
something? Yeah, I've heard about that one. I haven't actually watched it, but I've heard about it.
It sounds interesting, I will say.
Yeah, I liked it. I liked it
The-
because it was basically more of a, commoner love story, and you don't get to see that all that often. A lot of the stories nowadays, like princesses and millionaires and like fucking everybody who's the 1%, rather than everyday people actually finding love and going through hard times together and all that.
Because rich people always get the women. Always.
Rich people suck.
And
They
the
have
I
no
know.
personality.
Screw
third
the
one
1%.
actually, and the third Cinderella movie actually sounds interesting because Lady Tremaine somehow gets a hold of the fairy godmother's wand, starts using it to screw everything up.
Which begs the question on how she doesn't disaster-proof the thing, but... Whatever, it sounds like an interesting idea, though. It's like a what-if story.
yeah, although I did like one part of Cinderella 2 where we got to see Anastasia fall in love with the baker.
Yeah, we were just talking about that.
Yeah.
Give it a time star. Oh yeah, you
Sorry,
were busy.
I
think
And
had
she was
your
taking
mic
care
is
of
stuck.
her children's.
They are not my children's. They're my sister's children. I just happen to have them alive. They sometimes call me mommy. They are not mine.
If they were yours, they would be better behaved.
So you
True.
don't do that. And Vivian would already be potty trained. No.
Knowing
All
my
right.
luck, your sister would actually hear this podcast and hear me say that. She'd be like, "You gotta go kill that guy" or some bullshit like that.
She doesn't watch my videos. She doesn't pay attention to me.
Unless she
Yeah,
watches
yeah,
this
but-
very one. In which case, I
That's the
say
first one she
hello.
watches.
Well, she only ever calls me to say, hey, can you watch the kids? Like, she seriously only ever talks to me when she needs me to do
So
stuff for her.
to her, you're like Ass's Charizard. She only calls you when she needs you.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Well,
unlike
he can't
Ash's
use a Charizard all
Charizard,
the time. He'd actually win something if he fucking used it.
Oh.
He's also using
yeah.
my car. I'm not happy with this.
your car.
Wow.
My car. It's all for the greater good because in 4 weeks they will be gone. 4 more weeks, Erica. 4 more weeks.
All right. Well, let's see. What have we covered so far? We covered.
Well, back on the
Little
topic of
Mermaid.
Disney sequels.
Yeah. Aladdin got some sequels.
Yeah.
The second one was.
Which was lame.
Oh, come on. I liked those. The Prince of
Actually,
Thieves
like-
was actually a really good story.
I like the prequel to The Fox and the Hound. And, like, they got Reba McEntire to actually sing the voice for the singing dogs. It was really good. I mean,
Yeah.
it wasn't as good as the first movie, but it wasn't bad. I hate the Bambi sequels, though.
Oh,
I like
haven't seen those.
Patrick Swayze's voice in that movie.
You know, I've honestly never seen the sequels to Bambi.
Yeah, me
No.
neither.
You're not
I
missing
saw
anything.
that. Bambi too.
You're not missing much.
Okay, cool.
Bambi's dad comes, and then Bambi follows him, and then Bambi just makes mischief for his dad. Oh, yeah, and there's a couple scenes where he's chasing after the female deer, too. That's about it.
Wait,
Okay,
wasn't
so
that
Bambi's horny. Got it.
Wait, what? Wasn't that
vampire
not supposed to
thing.
happen until he became an adult? How? I don't.
I'm confused too, man. I'm confused.
It's not worth it, trust me. Don't worry your pretty little head about it, little duckling.
It was heartwarming though at the end, and it was like, notice I almost cried when the Great Prince was nuzzling Bambi's lifeless body, and then it was heartwarming when he regained consciousness.
But you knew he wasn't dead.
Because it was an
He
inner
alive in the
qual.
next movie.
Oh, by the way, spoilers for anyone who hasn't seen the Bambi 2 sequel. Unless you don't care, in which case, go nuts.
I'm not paying attention, so
So,
I'm
pretty
in the
much
fucking
rewarding
podcast.
no one.
I'm not paying attention to this whole
I'm
Bambi
trying
sequel
to
bullshit.
think of an actual another good sequel that Disney did, but I'm coming up short. I actually liked the 1.5 Lion King. It was actually really funny. Of course,
I think at that
going
point
into
Disney
the
wanted to
forest.
poke. I think at that point Disney wanted to poke fun at themselves for the ridiculous nature of all their sequels.
Pretty much.
Like, you know, we're being kind of silly.
But it was really funny. It was kind of a parody of the movie 1000s because, you know, they're watching themselves in the movie theater and then, like, it goes in. And then every once in a while, like, they'll pause the movie and just be like, what is that? Or, like, what? And so, like, it was kind of funny.
But they did something like that already. It's called The Emperor's New Groove.
I think
What?
this was before the Emperor's New Groove, wasn't it? By the way,
Well, sort
did you
of,
know that The
actually.
Emperor's New Groove actually got its own TV show?
Yeah,
that was.
Which was,
Yeah, it was kind of like the Hercules TV show and
It
Aladdin
actually
TV
was kind of
show.
badass. I always
it
liked
was
the
there.
show.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't
I
really care
don't
much
have
for
anything
Hercules,
to
but I
surprise.
loved the gods. I loved seeing more of the gods in it. Like, I just loved it when, like, Remember Aphrodite would show up, and it was like, eventually she got sick and tired of her own theme song. Oh, it was so funny. Like, eventually, by the time, like, the series was coming to an end, God. You know? It was always fun. I always enjoyed it just for the fact that they were based off of, Greek stories, of course. That is not how it happened, you know. But whatever. Of course, it also pissed me off that they had Hercules train to be a satyr. You know what I mean. He's supposed to be half horse, not half goat. Half goat people were
But
idiots and violent, and
satyrs are easier to animate.
I guess so. Plus, they were able to add in more goat humor.
Right, yeah. My Little Pony had come out and the creative horse jokes were not present.
Anyways, is there anything else you guys want to talk about?
I don't know, were there any other Disney sequels that were good? I only
let's
remember
see.
one.
Rescuers Down Under was a sequel. No, it was
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah, that was a theatrical sequel.
Yeah, it was a really good one.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
like that
that was
one
good.
way more than the first one.
But of course, it was kind of annoying that they couldn't get like half the actors from the first one. Like when you thought, oh, they're going to return a character from the first movie, they're like, nope, replacing. Moving on.
Best part about the Aladdin sequels was definitely the fact that they got Robin Williams to voice the genie every single time.
No, they didn't.
No.
Didn't they change voice actors in like the
Wasn't
second?
voicing the genie in the second movie.
Yeah, because Robin Williams got really upset due to the fact. Not Robin Williams. Fuck.
Robin Williams, yeah.
Yeah,
He-
Robin Williams.
Right, yeah.
did
Robin Williams. He did the voice originally, but he wanted it, he wanted it to be on the download that he did the voice of the genie. But instead, like, oh my god, Robin Williams is in this movie! And so he got really pissed off, and so he refused to come back for any of the other sequels.
But his
So they just
performance
got
was
him-
awesome.
Until the third one.
So they got a person that could imitate his voice.
And I forgot his name.
It doesn't matter. He's just an imitation artist.
He's just a fake. He doesn't matter.
He's just a pale imitation of the real thing.
Yeah, because most of his jokes in it was him just doing dialogue over and over again, or free jokes, and they would just take the best ones and put them in the movie and animate it. With this new guy, they had to write jokes for him because he wasn't. What's the word I'm looking for?
Robin Williams is inherently creative. He comes up with all kinds of random ass shit, and I love it. Have you ever seen some of his actual stand-up?
Yes. Although
It is
one of my favorite movies when I was little was Mrs. Doubtfire. I loved him in that movie. That was before he was really famous.
Yeah, that was actually pretty cool. He was in another movie. I forget what it was actually called, but it was strictly like a dramatic performance or like artistic expression, and I loved it.
I don't know.
Well,
Was Shrek a Disney movie?
That's
No.
DreamWorks.
DreamWorks.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Yeah, the second cousin. Well, actually, first cousin. I think the second cousin would be Blue Sky Studios.
Okay. Well,
Woo.
if we have nothing more to talk about, do you guys want to wrap this up?
Well, haven't we talked about modern Disney?
yeah.
About modern Disney.
Yeah, it's a recent movies.
Yeah. First they embarrassed themselves with Chicken Little. That
Which wasn't
movie was
good.
just that
Disney
was a
has
huge
realized
train
that if
wreck.
they want to make money, they need to go back to Walt Disney's point of view and do fairy tales, even if they do slaughter them. But they at least make them pretty and entertaining. That is all I have to say on the matter.
Unless they keep parodying themselves.
We shall not mention the movie that shall not be named.
What?
Which one?
Frozen.
Frozen?
Shall not be named.
Frozen was a good movie. I actually
What's wrong
liked
with
it.
Frozen.
Me too. I enjoyed it.
I liked it.
I am a fan of the Snow Queen.
I'm pretty sure the majority of people who watched Frozen like the Snow Queen. Or Elsa.
My dad thought Frozen was alright. He
Yeah.
thought it was okay.
Brilliant
Yeah.
critique.
My dad is also not an artist. So he doesn't even he didn't even look at it from a technical standpoint like he does everything else.
It is a beautiful movie, and it is entertaining to watch, but after being forced to watch it 16 times in a row, I've noticed many flaws with this movie, and it actually has come to irritate me.
I
Well,
love
you can give CinemaSins a run for its money, then.
It's not that it's a bad movie, and I
Well, the
understand why people like
main
it.
problem I saw with Frozen, was it called itself an adaptation of the Snow Queen. That is the most incredibly loose usage of that term I've ever heard in my life.
Even compared to most Disney
Yeah.
I don't even think the characters have the same names. So they might as well just not call it the same thing. Just say they were inspired by the Snow Queen, which
Exactly.
is probably the reality.
because they completely changed the storyline as soon as they heard the song "Let It Go,"
Which is
because
not
they
that good
decided
of
it
a
was too
song.
empowering for it to be a villain song. So they gave it to. So they completely changed the story just because of that one song.
Which irritates me.
And
Yeah,
then you
there were
get
like two things that I barely liked out of Frozen. I did not get the parenting in the beginning because it's like you locked Elsa up in her room and, well, apparently it fucked her over. And, well, the biggest problem I had with it was that Troll kept the fun, supposedly, and that you're distancing the sisters from each other. That's pretty stupid.
Like, you'd think they would have realized, well, she had no problem controlling her powers before, so instead of punishing her for hurting our other child, I seriously think they played favorites with the younger child, and that's why they locked her away. And so what really happened was that they were mad at her for hurting their precious little baby, so they locked her away. And so Elsa grows up. Instead of them comforting her, saying it's okay, it was an accident, and letting her go on and be happy, as they said, happiness is the key to her power. You know, so
Yeah.
they let her stew in fear, which is what makes her lose control of those powers.
Poor
Exactly.
parenting.
So yeah,
Parents of the year or
You know what? If
morons.
this is how all the Disney parents are, it's no wonder they killed them off.
Yep.
No
And
wonder
that's
Disney
why
just
they
killed
do
off
it.
all the parents. At least all the mothers. By the way, has anybody else
I'm
noticed
guessing-
that Elsa looks a lot like the dog? Like, not just, like how mothers look like their daughters, but seriously, when Elsa grows up, she looks exactly like her mom, just with a different dye job.
I smell recycled assets.
Anything else? Do you have anything
Uh,
else to talk about?
How about Wreck-It Ralph? That was a
Let's
Disney
see.
movie.
Yeah, that
Hang
was
on.
pretty awesome.
Actually,
Wreck-It Ralph was awesome with all its video game references.
As a video game player, that was awesome.
Yep,
I've not seen it.
yes it was. You should watch it, Postcode. It's really awesome.
Apparently, I've heard like sad stories about it though.
Sad stories.
Yeah, like the concept that he gets outside of his game and winds up tearing everything else up, and it makes him sad because he's actually hurting people, and I don't know.
Yeah, I guess in some ways, yeah, I can see that. I like Wreck-It Ralph more than Frozen, in my opinion. But, yeah, at least in Wreck-It Ralph's sense, I had a more clear picture on who the villain was, and a villain that I could actually understand more, rather than Frozen, which shoehorned that one in. And in Wreck-It Ralph, it had awesome video game references without it getting too entirely in the way. I killed the chat.
Yep.
Well, I think that's it for today.
DM reviews. Wreck-It Ralph.
What about Tangled? That was another good one.
Yeah,
Haven't
that
seen
was
that
good.
one
That
yet.
was good.
That was when Disney finally figured out how to make Pixar movies without Pixar.
Yeah, but it's a shame it didn't bring in as much as, like, I understand, it made more than, the Princess and a Frog, which is pitiful, you know, because people hear 2D animation and they automatically think for kids, when, honestly, I liked, the Princess and the Frog a bit more than I probably liked Tangled, except for Tangled had better songs. Princess and the Frog songs kind of sucked. Because they all kind of sound the same. There's only like two different ones. Like the villain song I loved, and Tiana's song Almost There was okay, but the rest of them all kind of sounded the same. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
People are going to be so mad at me because I'm just saying Disney. By the way, has anybody else noticed how they're kind of racist towards their princesses? Like, their princesses have to make them enough money that they get, you know, added as an actual Disney princess. You know? Like, yeah. Kind of irritates me. Because there's a lot of princesses I grew up with that I loved that never were added to the Disney princess list.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, you know, when a little kid, I always wanted to go to the Disney store when we went to the mall. But I hated the mall, but I liked the Disney store because I like to dress up. So, I dragged my mom in there, and I'd go through all the costumes, and finally I'd go up to the person and be like, I can't find this princess's costume. And they'd be like, who? And I'd be like, you know, she's in that movie, like, The Black Cauldron, or, you know.
We don't talk about that.
I like that princess. I actually did dress up for her for 1 year for Halloween. It's kind of funny because I had a cauldron for my candy pot that year. Never mind. Anyways, so like there'd be no merchandise for these princesses, and it would always get me mad. It's like, really? So I'd have to go home and make my own costumes for them. Wow, you sound so nerdy. Even as a little kid, I was making costumes.
Little kid couldn't accomplish her Black Cauldron cosplay. Sad story.
It's so sad.
Oh, I didn't have to. All she wears is a pink dress. I could buy one like that, and then I just tailored it to look like the ones in the videos, which was basically just adding pleats. Not pleats,
Little poofy things.
yeah, those pussy things.
Great
wasn't
poofy
hard.
things.
Which is basically you just taking fabric, kind of sewing a pillow, and then just putting a little bit of fluff in them. And then you just sew them on. You can actually use scrunchies, because back then they had these insane, like, huge. Like, they used to make those too. I don't know if they still make those. Do they even make scrunchies still? Sorry, we are off topic.
I cannot answer that question.
I don't know.
I don't wear one.
Postscript?
Yeah,
What?
my knowledge of scrunchies is
It's
limited.
almost 3 o'clock.
What?
It's almost 3 o'clock.
Yeah, I'm gonna be late.
Okay then.
Test postscript.
It is a 3 to close shift, which means I'm gonna be there for a grand total of about 8 hours.
Understandable. I had those.
Needless to say, 5 minutes is not going to make a whole lot of difference for you.
Okay. Well, let's see. We've talked about their merchandise. We talked about... does anybody else find it disturbing that it took less than 3 hours after the movie Frozen came out for some sicko out there to make a sexualized costume for the Ice Queen, Elsa?
Was that on the
What?
internet?
It only took him 3 hours?
Oh,
Tangled
come
Oh
on.
man.
You underestimate the internet.
You think that's worse? It took less than an hour when they mentioned the edible sparkles from when they were building the float in One Bad Seed for it to be written into a fan fiction.
Don't underestimate the power of the internet fandom. Just
Well,
don't.
edible boots, that automatically gives us...
Not edible boots.
Remember-
The sparkly powder she uses to make the edible boots.
Yeah, they mentioned edible boots. So when you think edible clothing, that does immediately conjure certain images.
Yeah.
It's like an alert signal. Whenever something comes up, it's like, I gotta write about that now. And then they go.
We all know Rarity has plenty of edible clothing. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Well, yes, I'm sure she has plenty of interesting things made out of gems as well. I'm sure she
Yep.
makes more than just clothing. She also makes accessories. Wink, wink, nod, nod. Let's.
Anyway,
Yeah. That's what's up.
and
I
you
have
would
Rarity's
know.
next project.
Ooh. Yeah.
Inspired by Pinkie Pie, Rarity is going to make an edible rock candy strap-on dildo.
Oh dear.
Well, I wonder what kind of magic charm she'll have to put on it. Anyways. You know, if we've gone down to talking about edible clothing and dildos, I think we have
Dildo.
finished talking about Disney.
Yeah.
So how about we
Yes.
just slide off now before we go even further downhill?
Sounds
You're
good to me.
welcome!
Thank you. Thank you, Postscript. Dude. Yeah.
Okay, I'm Starlight Cody. Thank you all for coming. Say your goodbyes.
I am Postscript, and I look forward to hearing from all of you. Please tell me somebody is not going to actually use that, that concept, though.
Someone will.
It's
someone
too
will.
late. It's already in the internet. It's going to happen.
At
And
some
when
point.
it does, you must send a link to PostScript.
Spam him with it. Spam him with it.
Okay.
I'm gonna get 5 messages. I'm gonna get 5 messages in my inbox by the end of my shift tonight. Hey, I wrote that fanfic you wanted.
Yeah.
No, I
Okay.
didn't want it.
Anyways, DM phone.
And I'm Thunderflare, and I'm going to pour bleach in my ears to remove that from my memory.
This is Flo's pal saying, "See you later, every pony."
Right. And I'm Starlight Pony saying the DM Pone 3000 space looks perfect for what we were just talking about. It's if we were just mentioning what